Well, I'll just say this without saying too much. I will say New Orleans is a team that the Suns have had conversations with.
Hank McCoy.
All right, let's take a look at our next tier of guys. We're going to call these the possible. So, again, it's like a step above the not likely, because the not likely we weren't officially ruling out or anything like that. But these are just a step above, maybe a little bit more chatter around these guys than the previous one. So we've got Delon Wright, we've got KJ Martin, we've got Otto Porter Jr., Larry Nance Jr., and we also have a few more here as well. We've got Saddiq Bey on this list as well, Royce O'Neale, and Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig, come on down.
Torrey Craig.
No?
Go ahead, G.
Look, I'll say I feel like Delon Wright feels pretty gettable if you're looking for a backup point guard. Like they were talking about Tyus Jones for a pair of seconds. That's what the trade buzz has been on him. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's not, yeah.
But like you could probably get Delon Wright for a second round pick or two. I don't know how much he helps you. I don't know if he's part of that 8 or 9 man rotation, but he's an option there.
Yeah.
And then in terms of wings, like I feel like I still like Royce O'Neale. Yeah. I feel like he's probably one of the main guys that they would target, and Torrey Craig would be the fallback, and we would get to welcome Thanos back to the Valley because a Torrey Craig trade is inevitable every February.
Can we talk about this Photoshop for the audio listeners? I apologize, but
what do you got to say about my Instagram Photoshop on the fly, Espo?
Let me see it again.
That's the point. It's
That's
intentionally bad. That's the point, Espo. Get with the times.
Kind of like a move to bring Torrey Craig back for the third time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Inevitable.
Look, one thing I do want to correct myself. Danilo Gallinari makes under that number. I was looking at an old stat sheet.
Okay.
Damn you, Google. He makes a little over 6, so he would be available.
All
I
right,
want to
so
give the people false info.
I will say I do not think Torrey Craig is coming back. Okay, I don't. Do I agree that there have been conversations about that? Potentially, yes, but at this point, I feel comfortable saying I don't think Torrey's coming back. Okay,
So you tell me I'm not getting any commission on another home?
No, you're not getting it. And
Sorry,
good,
babe, we can't afford dinner tonight. I apologize.
and good for Torrey's mental health of not having to even deal with coming back for a third time. And they, like that'd be way too much, man.
But
Poor
they say
guy.
the third time's the charm.
Might be.
I mean,
you know.
he'd go from Chicago to a title contending team again.
I guess.
Also, the weather right now here is way better than in Chicago. Let's be real.
Third time's the charm. Like,
Yep.
I love that.
This
that
time we're going to re-sign you.
That's like, hey, I'm gonna get married to this person for the third time and hope it works out this time.
Right.
Let's see.
I got a story I can tell you after this
Brother,
show
we have a
about that,
co-host who's
actually,
been
as
married
well.
3 times. What are you
Not
doing?
the same woman.
Yeah,
Not the same woman.
That's fair.
that's fair.
I mean,
just
he's
wanted to
trying
clarify
different
that.
people.
Just wanted to clarify that for Saul's sake before we throw in
That was
shade.
not a shot at Saul. All right.
Listen, I think of that list, Delon Wright is a guy that I can tell you they're talking about. I don't know if he moves the needle that we're talking about, but depending on what you would have to give up, it wouldn't be a bad insurance policy to have. I know there's interest in Saddiq Bey, and go ahead. What were you going to say?
Larry Nance Jr. is the guy. I put him on the list. I don't have any. I'm going to just tell you, I don't have any inside information on this one, but to me, you connect the dots. We know in the past that there's been rumors that James Jones has been has poked around when it comes to Larry Nance Jr.
Yes.
He's a 4. He's a guy that has some athleticism.
Yes.
I feel like that's a move you make where he could be one of those guys that is better than what you're currently running with and could give you some flexibility if you wanted to, say, go bigger in your starting lineup. And maybe let Grayson come off the bench in a certain matchup or something.
Yes.
It would give you more opportunity. I'm intrigued by that. I don't know if New Orleans does it for the chimichanga platter that you have available right now, but I might. That's a name I look at and I go, I'm intrigued by.
Well, I'll just say this without saying too much. I will say New Orleans is a team that the Suns have had conversations with. We won't get into the names, but. So I mean, listen, he fits. He's a guy that I think could be better than the guys we mentioned. Royce O'Neale. I mean, Royce O'Neale's a guy that they're absolutely unequivocally talking about. And I think he fits perfectly. I think he's a guy that is 6'6", 225. He's 30 years old. He's on an expiring deal. He's one of those guys that you kind of need Royce O'Neals on your team. Like he's one of those intangible guys. And so for that reason, I believe that's why they have interest. And I think he can slide in and play playoff minutes.